Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? This is Mr. Cool. Uh, it's gonna be a hot day in Kentucky again. Just want to get on here and say hi to everybody. Hope everything's going well for you. I just want to say hi to everybody and just get on here for a few minutes this morning. And so, yeah, I appreciate everybody. Um, I hope y'all have a good day. Just remember prayer for the people in Texas. I think they updated. There was 104 had passed away in the flood. It was a major flood. You see the water was up almost 30 feet, somewhere there. And there was, I think, 28 kids have lost their lives. And so I want y'all to remember them for their families and everything. So that's going to, sadly, it's come down to that. That Texas, that updated the flood. It was 100, I think it was 104 now percent dead. But remember the families and their lost ones. They lost their lives. And remember the survivors too that survived. Remember them all in prayer and stuff. It's sadly, it's morning just talking about wrestling. Um, and, I'm putting it on hold for a minute. I know all I can say about WWE wrestling right now is they're having the Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night main event with Goldberg taking on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. But as far as that, yeah, it's sadly I've seen some pictures on the news about the Texas situation, the floods, and it showed it wiped out account thing for kids. I think it was 27 or 28 or something in there, and sadly it's unbelievable what as myself being to survive a flood back in 22 here hit eastern Kentucky. We lost our we lost our trailer that we was renting, and lost my van, lost some personal items, and but you know the almost lost our lives that day. And hello, how you doing, y'all? Welcome, y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Sadly, it was the flood. It was being a survivor of the Eastern Kentucky flood in 2022. Sadly, this flood was very dangerous. Yeah, I'm not talking about the wrestling right now, folks. I'm kind of talking about what's going on in Texas with the flood. It's sadly, it's um, how our he best big big toe big toes. Some of these words I can't say. Welcome everybody in here. Um, Sadly, uh, if you have any friends or loved ones in Texas that have lost their lives in the flood, it's a sad thing situation going on. Um, just remember them in prayer. In the 2022 flood that we had in East Kentucky, I think it was 40 some people passed away in the flood, and we know what they're going through. They said some of the water was so high, up almost 30 feet. And they even had some places that was high away from the ground itself, and still got flooded. So it was a dangerous situation. I guess they had to call all the National Guard, the local sheriff's office, and everything. It's just sadly, there's a lot of people lost their lives. Um, and just remember in prayer, folks. I mean, this is a bad situation. Um, if you've never been through a flood, just it's. I mean, losing your family members. There was a story. It really touched my heart that there's this guy. Um, he kind of got in panic mode, but he took his hand, busted the window out, and got his wife and his, I guess it's his mother, or I guess her mother, born too, I'm not sure, and to try to escape. And what he did was cut his arm, his hand, or arm off, one, two, and he didn't survive. But he sacrificed his life for his family, and that to me is a hero. That he did everything to protect them, and they've been like different ones. They found a girl in a tree, survived in a tree that was away from the flood itself, and they rescued her. Um, and like I said, though, I think the updated last thing was there was 100. It might be more updated now, but it was 104. And at a camp, or a kids camp thing, it was 20. That's kind of the counselor and the kids. Jacob Fatu. Is this the real Jacob Fatu? Or is this somebody using his name? Because like I said, myself, I was in wrestling 12 years, and I worked with a lot of big names, Ric Flair, Abdul the Butcher. I managed Abdul the Butcher, and I managed Ric Flair one time in WCW here locally. Uh, and Dustin Rhodes worked with me, trained me a little bit in the ring, worked with him just a little bit. And so that's Cody's brother, Cody Rhodes' brother. But I'm trying to get away from not to get away from the wrestling itself. But if you know anybody in Texas that we have friends online, see if you can make sure you check and see if they're okay and everything. Because yeah, the flood itself. I know I was a victim of the 22 flood here in Eastern Kentucky. I survived. Me and my girlfriend, her daughter, and her little dog, and there was 40 some people who wasn't so lucky, and there was people who lost everything. So I know what these people are going through. Some of the water that I heard the depth almost 30 feet. That's pretty scary. Yeah, I think they're saying altogether it was 27 or 28. That's kind of the counselor died on the news. So they're saying there was 27 or 28, and that's including the counselor that passed away. Um, I mean, there was campers going down the river. There was RVs. They was showing us one house. It had a high floor up, touched a couple of inches almost off the bottom of it. It was really jacked up. The house was. That's how dangerous it was. It was, and they didn't get much of a warning either. But another thing, the weather service, weather channel, weather service, whatever, didn't get much of a warning. And I think that at that camp, you're not allowed to have phones, I believe. Sadly, they're going to have to change that or find some way to warn them of that situation because that is a dangerous situation to be in, a flood like that, folks. And you got to have communication some way to be able to know what's coming at you. It's just like when we had the 2022 flood. You know, my girlfriend maybe thought it was a leak in the bathroom, but it wasn't. It was a flood, and I wish it was just a leak in the in the bathroom. You know, but it wasn't. So it's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation in Texas. It's one of the worst I've seen so far. I mean, 22 flood, and then we got flooded after that, and I actually almost lost my Jeep. I had a minivan, got flooded and destroyed, but I did have a Jeep, and I should never walk, went through the water. They said when I deep, and I almost lost it too in a smaller flood. So I learned a lesson. When I see hot water, this old boy's turned the car back around and going the opposite direction. I am not any tempted to do that. So, but I do appreciate everybody. Folks, this is going to be a little short. I know it's not about wrestling, but it's about people's lives and the flood in Texas. Just remember them in prayer, folks. Seriously, it's a bad situation. And if you've never been flooded like this, then one day you never know, it could hit you. And, it could rain anywhere in blood. But a major flood like that, it was very bad. But I want to get off here, and I want to appreciate you all for taking your time to stop by. Don't forget that like button before you leave. I do appreciate it. Every like is, I do, and I'm doing okay, Adam. Doing pretty good though. I'm just talking about the flood stuff in Texas. I know it's off wrestling, but sometimes the more important thing in wrestling itself, you know, it's people's lives. If you don't have, people in your lives, wrestling will mean nothing. We can go watch it or watch it on TV or in person. So, but I appreciate you all. I'm gonna get off here, but and everything, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to get more updates about it. I know they have different people down there looking. There was a guy on YouTube I seen. I think he's got a little investigation crew went down there too to help out. So yeah, it's I watched some video things about him. I'm not sure what can't remember his channel name, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Well, folks, I'm gonna get off here. Mr. Cool's gonna get out of here, and I hope you all have a great day. And next time we'll see you, we'll talk more about what's going on in the Saturday Night Main Event Wrestling, the WWE, with Goldberg making his return against Gunther, and we'll give you more update what's going on Saturday and beforehand. So y'all have a great day. God bless you all, and be safe no matter where you live. Be safe. We'll see you soon.